Hello and welcome to Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 and a look at the Space Marine strategies and tactics. So first off, this is the fleet I tend to run. So as you can see, we are running with 5 Strike Cruiser Mark IIs and 6 Hunters. So what this does is give us a lot of torpedoes. So every ship in this build has torpedoes, and we can really use this to our advantage with our boarding torpedoes going forward and being able to take out at least one ship before we've even made contact with them. Now, people may just use a lightning strike or boarding action to get it back, but this will still only leave it on one troop a little bit more if they use the reinforcement capability, and it's very easy to remove that ship from combat again. And they've now used up one of their abilities for that. So getting them to waste it early and or put it on cooldown while you now catch up to the rest of their fleet and go after it can really start hurting them. So that's the one I run. There are other ways you can do this. You can certainly try at higher levels, because I wouldn't use these without the micro warp jump. But they do become effective then as they become a lot more maneuverable, a lot easier to get into the correct position. The fairly heavily used, but not as much as it used to be, all light cruiser build, so it's all Mark 1s. Essentially you just run them silent with the emission dissipator, charge forward, and away you go from there. It's pretty much just boarding action, boarding action, boarding action at that point. So where do I go from here? Well, I run Emperor's Tarot so I can get that boarding action off nice and early. And then I run a stasis bomb to try and stop any potentially fast moving fleet from outrunning me. I then also go with the armor piercing ammunition, as well, all my weapons are pretty much macro weapons, so why wouldn't I? I'm going to be getting in close anyhow as I want to board. So I might as well have my weapons doing the extra damage. Now, the next one's very much a toss-up. Because of the amount of escort ships I run, having the emission dissipator can be quite useful, allowing me to get there quite early and get those points. But overall, I think the Agrippina Pattern Void Shield is going to do better for us. Now, this is the last thing you unlock, so pretty much up until that point, I'm going to be running the emission dissipator, at least once it's unlocked. But once we do have that, we're going to go there. So that's how I run this, and I've had quite good success with this. So we're going to jump into a ranked 1v1 game, and let's see how we go. Okay, so we have Chaos. This is going to be fun. Chaos tends to try and run a bit more of a ranged combat style, and they may be running squadron heavy. So this is definitely going to be a fun time. We get our lovely little intro showing off our ships. Chuck a good luck, have fun to our opponent, and let's get cracking. So I split these up into groups. We're still going to run them silent. So I essentially want 2 groups of these, of 3 each. Now, the reason for this is so I can split them up and go after multiples. And also at 3 each, even though these are only destroyers, most people aren't running that many escort ships. I've found that they can usually take out at least 1, if not 2 escort ships on their own, depending on how much attention the opponent is playing. So, because we do have Chaos, we're going to go with lock-oners. Like I said, they tend to try and stay at range. So we're going to go there and hope that they're not running overly heavy on the squadrons, because brace for impact would be better for that. And let's see how we go. So, it's ready up. Alrighty, right into it. There we go, we're going to send them towards that. There's my enemy. I'm just going to head straight towards them. And then we're going to go after their generators to make life easier for us. Okay. Yep. Okay, there's all their generators. Now, I don't think he's going to go in there before I can do this, so we're going to reveal that one. And that's a relatively small ship, so we're just going to fire our main ones at it, and we'll leave the ones on these guys until a bit later. Now, if you're running a mission dissipator, you could be all ahead fulling this group to get them there a little bit quicker, but I think we're going to do all right anyhow. Okay, so change our trajectory a little bit as they have shifted over a little bit to capture that point. This lot's good to go again, so we're going to move them forward to this point. Okay, let's see how we go. They're not burning, and without that I don't think they're going to get into this cloud. Actually, with the direction they're heading, I don't think they're going to anyhow. So they may not have noticed, so this is going to hit them. Now, they have changed their angle a bit, so they might get a few more turrets on it, but we'll see how we go. We should hopefully still be able to take them out. Oh, they might just get there. No, they're still under the marking. This is great for us. And there you go. As you can see, straight up drifting Hulk. Okay, so they've gone into here, so we're going to head this way. So what else did we do to them? Well, we took out most of their systems. So even though they have brought it back, this thing, well, it's got no generators, no deck, no engines. It's not going to be doing well for them.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Okay, so we're just going to do that. This thing's going to get absolutely pounded. I don't even need to focus it, let's be honest here. Alright, and there's those ships. Okay, now we're going to focus them. And we're going to chuck this out here, see what they do. We're going to fire those ones off there. We should hopefully get it without too much of an issue. Right, they've burnt, and now we're going to do this. There's another drifting Hulk, another drifting Hulk. If we really want, we can do that. He's not exploding it. He looks like he's going to try and go after my shield with the disruptor. We want to go after him. Okay, so we're just going to... Yep, that's gone. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're still going good here. They're a little bit bunched for me to really be trying that. So we're going to fire that one in there. Actually going to turn him around. Alright, now they may not realize that I have this other lot. They may think that it's the third lot or that it's only one. Right, we're going to have to wait for him to pass because he's a bit too close for the torps at the moment. Okay, we're just going to turn him a little bit. Of course, they do it right as I do that. And we're going to do this. So, hopefully they'll turn quick enough. Ah, yeah, they've killed them. That's fine. It was worth the shot. We've got plenty to spare, so we're going to drifting Hulk that. We're going to do that as he's moving out of range a little bit. Alrighty, cool. We're going to do that to try and slow them down a little bit. Well, they've definitely got a focus. And that's fine. Alright, we've got him to mutiny. Still got one use of that. He's not quite in there. And there we go. There's another drifting Hulk for us. So as you can see, we've been quite effective at being able to take care of their ships. This guy, he's pretty much had everything taken out. There's not much I can do about it, but that's fine. We'll just keep going. And well, he keeps going, and he keeps trying to do that. Okay, where are we? Yeah, he's gone. Alright, so we're going to do that. while we...
The enemy has accumulated
No,
25%
no.
of strategic
Didn't even get there quick enough for that. That's fine. He's going to move in there, so we'll go after that. Right, he's mutinying. He's mutinying, and we've got drifting hulks on the rest of them. Now, I'm going to be honest. If he'd been smart and had actually scuttled a lot of these hulks, I'd probably be in trouble. But he hasn't. So, as such, I'm able to continue. And he's still not. That's a disruption bomb. He's really just trying to, I don't know, go after me here. It's really weird. So, he's not the only one that can play that game. Now that we're out of our boarding torpedoes, I definitely like doing this.
25% of strategic points.
And where are we? We're going to send one in there, one there. He keeps trying to bring him back, and it's really not helping him. So that'll probably drifting hulk this. There we go. We've got the mute. Right, he's got himself a little something down here, so that's fine. We'll bring down our fleet to deal with that. So he's got a little ship. He's going to try and... There we go. He's certainly going to try and use that to actually win this game, but that's fine. We've got more than enough to spread ourselves out here, which is what we're going to do.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
We're just going to come down here. There it is. Right. So we've marked it. We're actually going to fire off some torps at it. Going to just change our trajectory. Yeah, he's definitely going this way. He's still burning. There it goes. I figured it should be about to run out. And he's still just going to get out of there, so we'll just pop up there so we don't end up in our own bubble. Oh, we're still going to end up in our own bubble, unfortunately, with a couple of them, but that's okay. Once I remove his shields, which should not take long, he won't last much longer. There we go. And there's him turned into a drifting hulk. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how Space Marines play. Very much about going after the enemy's troops. As you saw, could still do quite decent damage to their ships, but going after their troops was far more effective. Like I said, he did have the ability to counter that by scuttling his own ships, and I definitely would have had some issues had he done that. As they were bunched up, I was in there. It probably would have been hard for me to escape all of those blowing up. Now, admittedly, his own ships were in there, so it is really a tough call. But at some point there, him doing that actually would have been far more effective than continually trying to bring them back. And especially once he had a couple of mutinying ships and they'd taken off, he either should have gone after him and tried to rally him with his battleship, his flagship, or he should have blown up his own ships. Like I said, it can be a tough call, but that's how I would have tried to do it. Space Marine ships don't have the best hull points for their size, and as such, he really could have done some decent damage there. But, be that as it may, it was still a fun fight, and you got to see how these guys play. So, that's the last video for the Space Marines. I will be doing the other factions at a later date. And until then, catch you later.